On today's show, the Dallas Mavericks showed us exactly what their version of basketball is going to be and how long it's going to take. I'll tell you on today's Locked On Mavs.
This is Cooper Flagg, and you're listening to Locked On Mavs.
Zone 5.
Explain yourself.
All these changes, I still got my dog Dwight Powell.
You are Locked On Mavs. Great, your daily Dallas Mavericks podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network.
Still can't leave.
Your team every day.
I'm going to get a city like that.
And welcome. You're Locked On to the Dallas Mavericks, your team every day, where we let it ride. Because the preseason's over. Mavs got to win. They're eligible for postseason contributions now, eligible for the conference finals.
Yep.
My name is Nick Angstadt, media member covering the Mavs for 10 years. Thanks for being in every day or making Locked On Mavs your first listen each and every day, making the Locked On Podcast Network the #1 sports podcast network out there. Thank you. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5. If you bet wins, you get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Head to FanDuel to get started. Just let it ride. Just feel it. Feel the preseason. And joining me, as always, the post-game prodigy from the Great Slightly Biased YouTube channel. How are you feeling about the Mavs preseason being over, Slightly Biased?
Well, I'm very happy about that. Very happy the next game we watch for the Dallas Mavericks will be real basketball that is meaningful. And I say that, but, I was looking at this. I was doing this when we were in the chat earlier. 12 of the last 15 Western Conference champions were 3-1 or better in the preseason.
Important to know.
Yeah, I made that one up too. So, well, it was at the beginning of the game where they were about to, it looks like they were going to lose. I was like, the last 12 of the last 15 have been 2-2. So there was going to be, that stat was going to be said regardless.
Do you remember when teams played like 9 preseason games?
Dude, the Lakers played like 7.
The Lakers played 6 this year.
Okay.
He also played 6 this year.
I mean,
Seems
back
like
to
too many.
I don't understand a back-to-back in the preseason.
That
especially
was wild.
The teams themselves scheduled them, I'm pretty sure.
Today's episode, we'll get into the Mavs' last preseason game. Dereck Lively showed me some things today. I'm excited about talking about Dereck Lively. We'll talk about Anthony Davis. We'll talk about Cooper Flagg. Finished preseason 4 out of 4, getting double-digit scoring games. Talk about his consistency. Ryan Nembhard showing me some stuff
big.
with the first unit.
This one's big.
We'll talk about that. But let's start here. This was a game to me that was just a classic game we see in like February, March in the regular season, where a team is way undermanned and the other team comes in with their full complement of players for the most part. And which, by the way, the Mavs are missing Kyrie and Gafford. Like they're still missing some guys for sure. And then all of a sudden, the team that's undermanned comes in and plays way over their head and it maybe hits a bunch of threes. Maybe a guy that you don't expect hits like 5 threes in a row to start the game. Maybe that's how it goes. And then by the third, fourth quarter, the team with more talent and the better team wins out by the end. And that's what happened in this one. It was just an avalanche by the Mavericks at the end. This Lakers team was way undermanned, obviously, without our guy Luka, without LeBron, without dominating, without Austin Reeves and all that. And so they're missing a bunch of guys, obviously. And there's a lot of talk about the Mavs, how bad the Mavs offense looked early in this game. Maybe we'll talk about that. But to me, I think this game showed us exactly what the Mavs season is going to be like. It's going to take them a minute to get to optimal where they want to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even though 13 of the 15 guys are returning from last season, a lot of those guys didn't play this version of basketball. They played Luka Kyrie ball. That is different than what the Mavericks are going to have to play this year for their offense and for their defense. Their defense is going to be different. It's going to take a minute for them to get to where they need to be. It's going to take a minute for them to warm up. It's going to take, hopefully it doesn't take like in this game till like the middle of the fourth quarter or like the beginning of the fourth quarter in the scope of the season. Hopefully it just takes a couple weeks, maybe a month or something like that for them to get to where they need to be. But it's not Luka ball anymore, where you can just roll the ball out and Luka just makes everything work because he's a savant and a genius. Like it's different kind of basketball. It's going to take them a second to get to the point where their rotations are good on defense and they're all where they're supposed to be. And the size is going to matter for them defensively like that and be as effective as it's going to be. I still believe this Mavericks defense is going to be really good, even though we've seen a couple of quarters here and there where you're like, oh my gosh, the threes, they're just bombing the threes. The Cavs have a great, and they don't have the point of attack defense is another thing I kept seeing, but the Cavs don't have point of attack defense, and they had Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. They're still an elite defense. Like they were number 1 the year before last. It's just going to take a minute, and we saw it was kind of a microcosm example of this Mavs season, I think, in this game tonight.
Yeah, I mean, especially if they roll out this starting five, which I hope they don't. But this is 2 games in a row, and tonight was labeled as the dress rehearsal, where we saw the big starting five where you're basically getting point Coop. I think that has something to do with it, with the offense getting off to slow starts. But yeah, I mean, yeah, this team's not going to be as good offensively as they were when Luka was here. Like that much is certain, right? That would be quite shocking. I'm the hope and dream is that they can be a league average defense that's paired alongside with league average offense. Yeah, that's paired alongside with an elite top 3 level defensive team. And yeah, we've seen this, and this is how teams are going to try to beat the Mavs is by shooting a ton of threes. This like is something that actually happens with good defenses a lot of times. Like the Thunder give up a lot of threes. Now the Thunder's, it's different in how they go about it. Theirs is much more strategic. A lot of their threes are end of shot clock kind of heaves. Like this is the best shot we can get. The Mavs are giving up some pretty decent looks on skip passes, something we've talked about. But tonight, I don't know what I'm supposed to take away from Gabe Vincent doing that. That's just like a shake his hand type of thing, man. This is a 35% career 3-point shooter that was hitting insane shots. Like it's just an insane shooting game from him. Shake his hand. Like it's crazy shots that he was hitting. And he's been hitting threes this preseason. So kudos to him. But yeah, I mean, if that is the offensive group they're going to roll out there to start games, and I don't think it's a coincidence they've kind of started these games slowly. And then when the lineups sort of change and different groups come in, then they go on these avalanche runs.
I feel like this is just Jason Kidd's starting lineups. I feel like they've all started slow. I feel like every year we do the same thing.
True, that's true. Yeah, I mean, the encouraging thing to me that I have seen is that this team does look like they're capable of going on those avalanche. Like, oh my God, like what just, if I'm the other team, it's like, what just happened to me? Which is the makings of a good team. But you can't be down 12 points immediately, every game. Yeah, we have this is evergreen stuff here. We've talked about this before a million times. It's like, can we stop falling down 15 into the first quarter?
The Hornets go 7 of 9 from 3. Gabe Vincent goes 5 of 5 from 3. It's like for the Lakers, it's like each team. And by the way, this Mavs team has played such a low level of competition in this preseason. They played the 3rd, 4th string for the Thunder. They played in that game in Fort Worth. They played the Hornets. They played the Jazz, and they played their players, right, for the most part.
Yeah.
Except for Grant Williams and Josh Green. They didn't play. And then they played this version of like the 2nd, 3rd string for the Lakers. Yeah,
at least these guys, most of these guys for the Lakers that played decent minutes to start the game will be in the rotation. Yeah, the Thunder, we were like, I think like 2 guys will even be on the roster.
But yeah, it was like Cason Wallace and Jalen Williams, the other one.
The rest of these guys will not even be on the roster, almost certainly.
Yes. So they have played low level. And so I will understand if you're a person that's like, we didn't see them dominate. This is concerning to me. I will also say it's still preseason. I don't know that you're putting in 110% effort in games like this, and this is it. I'm done giving them passes for this. Like regular season comes, all right. If you're still looking bad against the teams like this, I'm gonna be worried. But I'm not gonna be worried at this point right now. And we did see them get the win. The Avalanche at the end, like you said, proves what they can be. And you kind of saw some of the lineups that I think are gonna really work for them is when they get out and run. They play a little bit faster on the offense. They push the pace. You saw this lineup that I thought was pretty good late. That was the Lively, Flagg, Naji, Max Christie, D'Angelo Russell. There's just like a lot of ball handling. There's a lot of movement. There's, it's smaller, it's faster. And I saw some stuff in that. And it's been interesting that the smaller lineups have worked well for the Mavericks. And I see a lot of people saying, well, they have so many bigs.
Yeah.
We haven't even seen Gafford yet. And
yeah.
It's true. It's just going to be different.
The Gafford inclusion will be interesting. I guess the argument there would be like, well, AD and Lively aren't healthy a lot. So it might be nice to have 3. But it's funny you mentioned that because I thought about that same lineup and I was like, man, this is like a small Mavs lineup. But then I was watching it where I'm like, this is just a traditional basketball lineup. You have a center, a power forward, a small forward, and 2 guards. Like it's not like the years past where it's like, oh my God, they got 4 guards out there. Well, like it was like just a traditional basketball lineup.
And it's actually a pretty big lineup because you've got D'Lo's a 6'5" guard, Max Christie's what, like 6'6"?
Yeah,
Naji,
it's a very
6'7".
Yeah, it's a very like normal basketball lineup size wise. But it's funny. I thought the same thing when that group was out there. I was like, man, this is a smaller one.
really small. It's got a 7'3" center and the 6'9" power forward normal. Like very, very normal. Coming up, speaking of that 7-3 center, I thought Dereck Lively played a really good game today. He showed me something that is going to be essential for this Mavericks team this year, and I'll tell you what that is coming up. Today's episode of Locked On Mavs brought to you by our friends over at Wayfair. I recently got Wayfair, and I loved it because I was able to look through their entire catalog, see what kind of deals they have. They always have all kinds of deals. Sometimes I'm like, Wayfair, how can you have this many deals? Feels like they send me a 60% off every single day. But I also had an extra coupon that I got from them that I was able to use. The code still worked, which was awesome. And you love to see all the different combinations of things. They have a style for every single person. They had the exact right color that I needed to match some of the other furniture that I have in my house. I got a couple of chairs, I got a couple of nightstands, and I was able to match them with the exact things that I needed. And here's the thing that is the best about Wayfair. The worst thing about going to a furniture place is like trying to figure out if you just have a normal car, how to get it back to your house, right? Wayfair will send it right to you. The delivery is hassle-free. It's the free shipping as well. No delivery fees, which is awesome. So go check out Wayfair and get organized, refreshed, and ready for the holidays for way less. Head to wayfair.com right now to shop all things home. That's Wayfair, WAYFAIR.com. Wayfair, every style, every home.
Shut it down! Let's go home!
Thanks for hanging out with us on Locked On Mavs, being part of the show, part of the Raccoon Squad. That's what we call our listeners, listening every day. Appreciate you for checking out the show. Check the QR code and the links in the description to follow us. All right, Slightly, we're talking about the Mavs preseason game. They get the win. They get the win.
It's really funny because if you went on Twitter, or if you go on Twitter like tomorrow morning, you didn't pay attention to the game and you just see like the For You page, you'd be like, oh, God. And then you check the score and they won by almost 30 points.
yeah.
Like an insane turnaround in this one.
And I am a person that I prescribe to the Ted Lasso. I think you can lose a game and still win. I think you can win a game and still lose. I don't know.
Oh yeah. I don't think you walk away from this game like, oh yeah,
feeling super great about yourself.
Yeah.
But I do feel great about Dereck Lively. Played 25 minutes, 12 points, 11 boards, 2 blocks in this game. Had a great assist to a cutting Cooper Flagg that was awesome to see. And the first thing that stood out to me, obviously his size on defense, but his little hook shot deep in the paint is looking really good, and he's looking really confident in it. I think we've talked about that almost every preseason game that we've done so far. But that shot, he had 2 of them in a row that I thought were really, really nice. What was that? In the beginning of the fourth quarter. And one of them was a great pass from PJ Washington. But that shot is looking really good, and the Mavs are going to need that shot because when there's switching happening, like when the Mavs are setting screens and Flagg has the ball or AD has the ball and there's switching happening and Lively's got a small guy on him, he's got to be able to take advantage of it, and that's the way he's going to be able to, and that's going to add offense because the Mavs need every wrinkle they can get on offense.
Yep, but I'm watching these hook shots back right now. You know, that was a really nice pass by PJ.
Did they still go in this time? Did they go in this time?
They did go in.
Okay, good.
PJ's playmaking has kind of struck out to me a little bit in this preseason.
Well, on last episode you were on, you're like, Lively's the 3rd best player. And throughout most of this game, I was like, I don't know, PJ's kind of looking like the 3rd best player to me. He looked really good.
Well, there's a few guys that are battling for that position, which is a good thing. But, you know, I'm watching it and you got AD out on the perimeter, which whatever, we can talk about whether or not that's going to be something that proves fruitful for the Mavericks. Oof. But Jackson Hayes, who was the center tonight for the Lakers, is out guarding AD on the perimeter, and that means Rui's on. And Rui's a big guy, but Rui gets the matchup on Lively. And if Lively gets a kind of a deep paint touch there against a guy like Rui, who he has a massive size advantage over, Rui's a power forward. That hook shot is so important. And, you know, I've talked about this. Like, and I think the other one, I think the Mavs were pushing the pace, and then it was a cross match, and Gabe Vincent got switched on. He's got to hit jump hooks over that, right? And the Lakers even sent the double, and he was still able to get the jump hook off. That stuff is so much more important than a 3-point shot. Like, genuinely so much more important. It really is, because that stuff is like stuff he has to do. The 3-point shot is pipe dream, you know, literal. If this happens, it is outlier stuff. The jump hook is like, you need this in your bag, especially if this is how we're going to play.
He adds a 3. It's like generational Brook Lopez, Al Horford level. Like,
right.
Like, that just added like 5 years to your career. If you
and it's funny too, and everyone says Brook Lopez, and it's like, why is there never another name?
Well, Al Horford's the other one. That's still the other one.
True, I guess. But both of those guys had like mid-range games.
Well, and they were like, Brook Lopez was one of the best scorers that, like, he was the number 1 scorer in Nets history. I think he still is.
Yeah, that's an insane
That was
stat.
before he even added the 3-point shot. I just thought I saw great stuff from Dereck Lively. It was good to see him in different contexts and good to just see him defend next to Anthony Davis, defend with Cooper Flagg, with other guys, and good to see him do a little bit here and there on offense. He basically can do everything that you want a normal center to do on offense.
Yeah, I agree. I think, it's just, I'm just so interested to see how this is going to play out this season. I really am.
In what way? What made you think that?
Well, just because you're talking about the stuff that he does on offense, and I agree with you 100%. Can we talk about how did we see much double bigs this preseason? As much as you thought we would see.
With Gafford out, we have not seen as much as I thought we would.
I was about to say, they kind of come off of it pretty quick, and they don't go. It doesn't feel like they go back to it until the start of halves.
It does feel like that. We haven't really seen it. We haven't really seen it that much because they've probably been starting slow, and kids like, well, let's go somewhere else. We've seen like AD and Dwight like here and there a few minutes. Obviously, the Lively and AD minutes. And then, I mean, that's kind of it because those are the only three like centers. And so without Gafford, obviously I thought we would see it more with Gafford there, but it's been about what I thought it would be, I guess.
I'm just so interested to see, closing time, like closing minutes. I cannot wait to see what it looks like.
Well, we didn't have to see them now. Brandon Williams and Miles Kelly were playing in the closing minutes of this one. So,
but also the D-Live, those free throws.
You like that?
Yeah, they're looking good, man.
Looking better for you?
They're looking much
more
better.
Important than the three-point shot for sure.
I agree 100%. I mean, I think we've talked about it on here. Like there was stretches and his free throw percentage quietly got much better last year. Still, I don't know. It needs to improve still, but it got to a much better place last year. Yeah, if it's like 50% where it was rookie year, that does complicate things late in games. We even saw that in the playoffs. I mean, the Thunder literally chased them around the court.
I was going to say, I can still just vividly remember him getting chased around the court by Chet. Like, that was just such a funny play. Cooper Flagg played about 28 minutes, 13 points, 3 assists, 2 boards, a couple of fouls, no steals, no blocks this time. Didn't hit either of his threes, but 5 of 11 from the field. Had a couple of really good finishes in the lane, 3 of 3 from the free throw line. Just another impactful outputting from Cooper Flagg. I think you're right in the starting lineup with Flagg, Klay Thompson, PJ, AD, and Lively, with Cooper as like the point guard, like the point Coop thing that we all wanted to see that Jason Kidd said we were going to see. I don't think you want to roll that out to start the regular season.
I agree. And I think, one, it's a lot on Cooper Flagg's plate, man.
So much. He's got to be the connector with everything.
And to be fair, I will say, watching this game, it's not a point Coop thing. It's not like he has the ball coming up the floor. That's not how they operate. That's how it was in that Summer League game. That's not how it is in these games. It's like AD, high post, Lively dribble handoffs. Like, it's not a point Coop. It's just he does guard the point guards. We've seen that. He guarded Keontae George against the Jazz, and he guarded Gabe Vincent. They kind of switched off Gabe Vincent from time to time with Klay. But he did get a lot of those duties. And again, before you guys say anything, those Gabe Vincent shots were out of a Disney Channel. We're going to watch a Disney Channel original movie. Okay.
Which one? Luck of the Irish or Double Teams? Which one was it?
A brand new one that they're making right now that we just saw the filming of tonight. But
what about Gabe?
Yeah. What about
give it to Gabe. Game got Gabe. There it is. I got there.
Gabe got Gabe. That's a good one. The only thing we missed out was the random musical number in the middle of it. But if in order for that group to work, they have to get
the starting lineup.
That starting lineup, they have to get stops and run right out the gate. And just especially tonight, we didn't see that. And that half court offense was not good enough. So I just don't. I like that group if it's like in the flow of a game, and now you're putting that group out there, and the other team's like, oh my god. Like, this is overwhelming, the amount of size. Like, in the middle of a game, we're 30 minutes in, we're a little tired, a little beat up, and now they're putting this group out there. That's nightmarish. I don't know about early in the game. At least not yet.
Well, and you combat that by getting up quick shots, which is what Gabe Vincent did.
Yeah. And they went in, man. I mean, you can shake his hand. It was crazy shooting. There's that one play where Coop poked the ball loose, so they're diving on the ground, and then he just picks it up, throws it up, and goes down. I'm like, all right, I'm sure.
Just picked it up off the ground and like put it and threw it up.
Like, I got to talk about the Mavs 3-point defense because of this.
What was the one that was it? The RJ Davis one? It wasn't a 3, but it was like a really long 2, and his feet weren't even set. That Devin Harris was like,
yeah, that
I
was
felt
a crazy
like
shot.
I felt like Devin Harris wanted to say, y'all, his feet weren't even. even said. Like, how did he?
He's got a quick jumper. He's got a really quick jumper. Some of these guys, man, they're jumpers. There was that young blood dude in OKC. Like, God,
his last name, not a nickname.
Yes, his last name's actual name.
You just got to clarify.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah. Well, I was about to say something else about the. Yeah, I mean, there's how many? There was like 4 or 5 foot on the line shots tonight. You think it was because of the double lines?
They did have double lines because they played this game in Las Vegas. It's in the arena the Aces play in. The Aces were there, by the way, the champion Aces, and they have the 2 lines in there. I think it threw people off.
I think so too, because there was way more than usual.
Because you're probably like looking out of the corner of your eye and you're like, oh, I'm way behind this line, and then you're not at all.
Oh, and Coop had a nice little transition pull up, long 2 foot on the line. It's kind of why I bring that up. So he did miss all of his threes, but
He hit a long 2.
Hit a long 2 that I'm counting as a 3 in the scorebook. So you guys count that one.
Jumper's still looking all right to me.
Looks fine to me. The thing that is concerning, where it's like, I hate to bring this up again. Love the kid to death. I think he's going to be incredible. Like the D-Live missed 3 is like, okay, that's not, might not be there. Like, yeah. Okay, Dalton Connect. Some of his misses tonight were like, dude, what even is this guy? And like he's supposed to be a shooter.
That his thing is supposed to be.
And his misses are bad. So it's like, jeez. Whereas Coop's misses are like, they're not horrible. I'm not like, ugh.
Do you think the Hornets were really happy with their decision to not trade for Dalton Connect?
Well, I was saying this earlier. I'm like, dude, do you think the Lakers are like, God, there's no way we get a Mark Williams level player for Connect?
No, not anymore. No.
That's insane how bad he looks.
Wild. Coming up, Ryan Nembhard did look pretty solid for the Mavericks. Jason Kidd said something about him post-game that I found fascinating. We'll talk about that and more coming up. Today's episode of Locked On Mavs brought to you by FanDuel. FanDuel Sportsbook has all kinds of props and odds, things that you can use to get in on the action. NFL season is here, and FanDuel has an offer you do not want to miss. So go check out FanDuel and see what is available for you. You can go check out all the different odds. Mavs odds to make the playoffs right now. Plus 104 to make the playoffs. I think it was like minus 103 before to make it. And so the Mavs have less odds right now. So that if you think if you're real confident the Mavs are going to make the playoffs, this is one where maybe I would go look at it. You bet $100 to win $104. So you're not getting you're getting some positive odds there for that one. Go check out that one for Mavs. Anything else, if you feel real confident about it, if you're like, this is a sure thing, absolutely. I would do these on like, you see an NFL matchup where you're like, oh, this team is absolutely going to win. Put it on the money line. Put down $5, and if you win, you get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. So go check that out. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com to download the app and get started. The FanDuel app right now. Go to FanDuel.com. Please gamble responsibly.
Shut it down! Let's go home!
All right, Slightly, talking about the Mavs versus Lakers, quote-unquote Lakers. Quote-unquote Lakers. Preseason game. Let's get into Ryan Nembhard. Played 12 minutes, played in the first half, played in a little bit of the first quarter, and had 4 assists, had 5 points, hit a 3 in this one. And Jason Kidd after the game said this. I saw Christian Clark and some other people post this after the Mavs media. Jason Kidd said Ryan Nembhard could easily be a rotation player early on this season. Easily. And from what we've seen from Dennis Smith Jr., which is not much, doesn't look like he's going to make the team. From Dante Exum, literally nothing. And from Brandon Williams, which was 2.5 minutes today, and that's about it. And we saw him at Fan Jam. That was the only times he's played. I think he's right. I think that Ryan Nembhard is probably your backup point guard, your actual backup point guard at this point, starting the season.
Yeah, we joke on here all the time about how Kidd, you really can't listen much to Kidd. So actions speak loud.
Wait, why is that?
I don't always tell you guys the truth.
Because he told us. that.
Yep. So actions speak louder than words with Kidd. And he's been the first guard off the bench 2 games in a row, and 2 games that were kind of framed to us as dress rehearsals. And tonight is a dress rehearsal.
Can we talk about the dress rehearsal thing? Because this is driving me crazy seeing some people talk about this. Dress rehearsal applies to minutes played.
Yes.
I don't think this team was like, all right, let's go into this. We've got to win this one because it's our dress rehearsal, right? Like it's talking about. I take the dress rehearsal as Kidd wants to play the minutes that he wants to play in like the regular season for the most part, at least to start the game.
Man, we see teams look like garbage in the there's just it's just
Didn't the Warriors like lose all wasn't the Lakers? Some team lost all their preseason games, won the finals, and you're just like,
it's just, dude, there's so much stuff that goes into preseason, man. And I agree. Hey, look, there's definitely stuff to be concerned about and stuff to be excited about for sure. But I mean, like, I don't know. Some of the reactions, it's just like, dude, take a step back off the ledge, man. But no, I think Nembhard, and I mean, he's looked great. He really has. Like, he's looked good, and him and AD have that connection just looks good immediately.
Well, he just knows how to work with a finisher, and that's what Anthony Davis is. Like, he is an elite finisher.
Well, I have a question for you. How many guys on the Mavericks can realistically make that little pocket pass on a
Coop
will
by the end of the season?
I mean, there's not that many guys. So Nembhard comes in and hits that.
Naji can, but then every once in a while, it looks like Naji where he threw the ball behind him to Lively, and it just goes completely like in a defender's face. Like that's how
Nembhard just makes those little passes where it's just like that's subtle. Look off a defender or something. Like you know, those are the stuff that's the stuff that Nembhard can do. And he's just in great control. I mean, over under minutes on opening night.
Over under 9.5.
Man, going into this, I would have said no way. But
going into this game, you would have said no way over. No way he gets 10 minutes.
I think that might be
Are we assuming we get Gafford and or Caleb Martin? We didn't even see Caleb Martin at Fan Jam. So
do we even know do we even know what Caleb Martin's dealing with?
No.
Personally, has it even been said?
Injury wise, no.
Like there hasn't even been an update on him that I even know what his ailment is.
This is my thing about preseason.
I'm not a doctor, so I don't know.
It's literally all on Kid to just tell us what these things are and to figure out which ones they are. There's no injury report right now. That's the way we've usually been like. Even I would love to even just see Caleb Martin dash foot, Caleb Martin dash ankle, like even just that would tell us something. But yeah, no, we don't know.
I guess the only thing I actually want to say over, honestly, I guess the only thing is it's like, hey, B-Will, we've just been ramping up. He's going to be our guy again, but like we've just been ramping him up. And he did play tonight, but it was, like you said, he got 3 minutes.
Like 2 minutes and 37 seconds.
Yeah. So, dude, right now I'd have to say over. I mean.
Yes, I would too. Because you think that in the regular season, if he's going to do the same thing, he'll play Nembhard the minutes that Brandon Williams just played. And when Nembhard was in, the best thing I can say about Nembhard in his case to play minutes, especially like opening night, the offense looked the most cohesive it did in the half court when Nembhard was out there.
Yeah,
he just makes it all work. The same thing I was saying at the beginning of the show about it's not Luka offense where you can just roll the ball out and he makes it all work. Ryan Nembhard was making it all work because he's an actual point guard. Like I love having Cooper Flagg as a playmaker, like a secondary playmaker and all that. He's just not the run the whole offense through him. We've been saying that all offseason. That's not his thing.
Yeah, not yet, at least.
He can do things. He can run some offense. He can't run the offense.
And by the way, I'm okay with them experimenting with that over the course of the season. I just don't think night one is.
But it shouldn't be the thing you rely on to like create like that's our go-to. It's like create offense. It's that.
The Nembhard stuff looks a little undeniable to me. I'm looking at it right now. So just over the course of the preseason, right? Like. Do with this information what you will. The Mavericks have not played world beaters, as we mentioned. Okay, he was a -6 in that game against the Oklahoma City Thunder Z team.
No, stop making it. Did you just bring up a single game was minus?
Well. Let me get this off.
Against Carlisle's rolling over in his Mavs.
Against the Jazz, he was a +12. Or against the Hornets, he was a +12. Against the Jazz, he was a +14. And tonight, he was a +6 in 12 minutes.
They're winning his minutes.
Yes. So if there was a competition that was taking place, if we witnessed like there's a real training camp battle going on for this guard spot that early in the season, or at least until Kyrie comes back now with Exum out for sure, is going to be relied on. This person's going to be relied on. Nembhard won it comfortably.
Do you want to know the Mavs net rating through 3 games with Nembhard on the floor?
This doesn't include tonight?
It does not include. No, NBA.com doesn't have it yet.
I'd say +12.5.
18.8. The offense is 110 basically, which is not that great.
I was about to say that's horrible. So their defense is great.
The defense is 91.
All
this
right,
is through
that's
3
fake.
games against teams that we just talked
Yeah,
about.
that's nothing to take away from that, honestly.
It's not.
91 defensive rating. Like, they're not going to be the greatest defense ever assembled with Ryan Nembhard on the court. That is far and away the best defense to ever play.
Defense when Ryan Nembhard. You know what? Ryan Nembhard, best defensive point guard the Mavs have ever had.
All right, on that. Hey, he competes.
91.
He does compete. He does compete.
He does.
Dude, I
just think he's got to play. I think that's my takeaway from this. Is
well, because remember when the
B-Will
when the B-Will stuff happened, we were like, oh
Which
man,
stuff?
like that's
The injury?
when he had the hamstring injury, we were like, man, him and Dennis, like we didn't even really mention Nembhard.
True.
Because I just kind of thought it'd be like Nembhard will be in the G League to start, and they might sprinkle him in.
They had 3 guards that have all played NBA minutes, and you're like, all right, well they're gonna go with one of those guys. Then Exum never played. Then Dennis doesn't look like he's gonna make the roster. Then
Dennis didn't play tonight, man.
Well, it was dress rehearsal.
I know, that's just kind of sad to me.
How about the? Did you hear Isaac and I's argument about how Jason Kidd, anytime he's asked about a player, he always says that the player is amazing and like says like all these great things, like he's a star today and stuff.
Yeah, Kidd. I've talked about this today when I was talking about Kidd's extension. Kidd's like a CEO. Like you hear this term with college coaches. He's like a CEO. He's there to manage egos. Players love him. People love him.
He had this quote today about how Jeremiah Robinson Earl is like so great and like how is he not an NBA roster and all that stuff. I'm like, guys.
JRE. It is crazy. I was watching the end of the game and I'm like, man, this is the last time we'll see some of these guys in a Mavs jersey. Like Delano Bant was out there. I'm like, well, this is it. Like we'll probably never see him in a Mavs jersey again.
He'll go play for another team and be like, man, remember when Delano Banton was on?
Yeah, those would be funny screenshots.
They'll go the way of Tony Romo. Held the jersey at one time and never will again.
Well, Tony's was iconic. It's funny because if that happened last year, he would probably would have gotten like 2 or 3 minutes. Can you imagine how funny that would have been?
Center.
He might have.
Thanks for hanging out.
Tony has to get out there. We're gonna have to forfeit the game if Tony does not step on the court.
That almost happened in a game last year. It was so bad.
Yeah.
Thanks for hanging out with us on Locked On Mavs. Go check out Slightly Biased, great YouTube channel. Good stuff happening all the time over there. We'll be back tomorrow with more breaking down the Mavs and what we all learned from preseason. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Guys, thanks so much for listening to Locked On Mavs.
Dogs.
Next time I talk to you guys, it'll be the real deal.
Boom.